I want to talk about how we can identify AI generated media. So that includes images and videos. That's where I'm mainly going to be focused on with this. Now, AI generated images and videos have been used to show events that haven't occurred. So that's why being able to discern fake from real media is a really important skill to be able to have. And they have been created purposefully to mislead, and it does constitute fake news. So at the moment, it is still possible to distinguish real photographs from fake AI generated images, but things are improving and they're getting better. But we're going to go through now all the different ways we can identify different AI generated media. Just as an aside, it is okay to use AI generated media. It's fine to use, but to make it clear that you've used it and then not to pass it off as if it is real. So, how then do we identify AI generated media? One point is to look at context. So, if you look at what's happening in the real world, is this a likely situation to have occurred? So, we have in this context a situation that doesn't fit in with reality, and that should make you realize that actually there might be something deeper going on here, and then you probably have to investigate that picture a bit more, that associated story a little bit more as well. The next thing with AI generated images is you tend to have very smooth, blemish free typefaces, and they almost look a little bit like they've been painted or a little bit cartoony. So there's definitely something not real in many instances with many of the AI generated images. One of the things that AI has a difficulty with is creating correct hands. So making sure that the size of the hands, so notice in this image here, there's hands have got really long fingers. Sometimes it adds extra fingers. So hands, it finds difficult to get the shape right and the proportions right, and even the number of fingers right in some instances. So that's another thing to look out for. Another thing to look for is inconsistencies, particularly in shadows. If the sun is one side and the shadow on the other side, that's the way it should be. But if the shadow and the sun are on the same side, that might be a problem. If you have strange reflections, again, might be showing a lot of inconsistencies and something that just doesn't look quite right. So again, another thing to look out for in images. If you wish to investigate the image as well a bit more, so you can go into what we call the metadata, and you can see specific details of how that image was created, when it was created, all sorts of data about that image hidden within inside the metadata. And you can also do a bit more investigating by doing what's called a reverse image search. If you don't know how to do this, it's pretty straightforward. You can go into Google, click on the icon there that's circled in yellow, and then you put your image in, and then what it will do, it will give you all the other locations on the web where that image is. So you're able to find some more information about that image, and there might be some associated information there that might indicate that it was generated by artificial intelligence. Now, moving on in particular to videos, other things you might want to be looking for is lip sync, might be out of kilter with the movement of the lips. So again, just look for that. Perhaps unnatural movements in the body of the person, and also sort of a lack of facial expression, like things like blinking. It would be a little bit unusual. The pattern of that would be a bit strange. Maybe lack of like a sort of movement in the face. Again, all those things you want to be looking for within videos that if you're suspicious that they might be generated by artificial intelligence. So now you'll go to see if you can identify whether the images on this location here, on this website here, you can got the link at the bottom there, are fake or whether they're real. And just to be really clear, all the images of people generated in this presentation were artificially generated.